A short Sundry news for today, Friday, June 12th, as it appears we have no Daily Wire today. So here we go, starting with the Daily Yahoo, brought to you by Yahoo. What mask? Las Vegas tourists at the Cosmopolitan act like the virus is long gone. The coronavirus panic appears to be in the mental rearview mirror of many visitors to Las Vegas, and mask shaming is in vogue. I like it. Jazz Waters. Cause of death revealed for This Is Us writer who is 39. Update. Updated 3:15 p.m. A cause of death has been revealed for TV writer and journalist Jazz Waters. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner Coroner's Office said Thursday that Waters died June 9th by hanging. The manner of death was ruled a suicide. Winters was 39. Sad. Police apologize after officers pull over black couple for driving a car. I'm sure it was for that reason. Suffolk police issued a public apology after video of the officers pulling over a black middle-aged couple in Ipswich sparked anger. Oh, the UK. Zuckerberg and Chan tell scientists they're disgusted by Trump's comments but offer little action. Okay. They're doing their job as a platform. Facebook chief executive Mark Zuckerberg and wife Priscilla Chan said Thursday they are deeply shaken and disgusted by President Donald Trump's inflammatory rhetoric, but offered little other consolation to scientists who recently petitioned the pair, asking to rein in Trump's Facebook posts. Scientists? Okay, why is it scientists? What the fuck, scientists? Story continues on MarketWatch. Scientists funded by Couples Initiative had urged Facebook to rein in Trump's inflammatory posts. Stay in your lane, scientists. What the fuck? Dozens of scientists and researchers funded by the Chan-Zuckerberg Initiative signed an open letter asking Facebook, Inc. to stop letting Trump use the social network as a platform to spread misinformation and hate. It is a platform. It's not supposed to be a censorship board. It's a platform. The scientists' letter, a free platform. The scientists' letter decried the spread of deliberate misinformation and divisive language, calling it contrary to the organization's goals of using technology to fight disease, improve children's education, and reform the criminal justice system to build a more inclusive future for everyone. Okay, I'm not reading this whole thing. So stupid. YouTuber Lily Pons opens up about living with Tourette's. I don't want to continue like this. In the most recent episode of her YouTube series, internet personality Lily Pons shared that she has been living with Tourette syndrome her entire life. Meghan Markle's friend Jessica Mulroney fired from TV role over social media racism row. The Duchess of Sussex's best friend. Why are they still calling her that? Didn't they forfeit their titles? Has been sacked from her role as a TV presenter for a Canadian network after having a row about white privilege with a black social media influencer. Jessica Mulroney, who attended Meghan Markle's wedding to the Duke of Sussex. Blah, blah, blah. Goodbye limits. Hello Yahoo Mobile. Introducing the unlimited phone plan that lets you stream, text, and talk your heart out on Verizon's 4G LTE network. Plus a mobile hotspot and more perks that we can't find in this space. Finally, a phone plan as unlimited as you are. What's hot? What? Is it Yahoo search? Look for Botox and becoming a paralegal on Yahoo search. Black Lives Matter. Kristen Cavallari, coronavirus. Linda Cardellini, Kyler Lee, Medishare, Denise Richards, HPSO, whatever that is, Rug Sale, Anna Kendrick. Thank you, Yahoo. Go to what? Go to somewhere. 1440. Good morning. It's Friday, June 12th, and we're taking virtual train trips around the world. Okay. That's it. Need to know. Senate targets Confederate named bases. Are you serious? The Senate Armed Services Committee approved an amendment yesterday requiring the Pentagon to rename military bases currently named after Confederate Civil War leaders. The 25-2 vote puts the Republican-led committee on a collision course with President Trump, who said yesterday that renaming the bases would damage their historical legacy, calling the issue a non-starter. It does. And they were still Americans. They lost the war. They still count as being Americans. And whatever feats they accomplished during the war deserves to be remembered. If they were great feats of skill or tactics or whatever it is that caused them to be the namesake of military bases, obviously it must have been something noteworthy. And just erasing that is unnecessary and uncalled for, and, well, it's called for, literally called for, but it's unnecessary and disrespectful and stupid. The amendment was attached to the National Defense Authorization Act, the annual defense policy bill that sets funding levels and establishes military priorities. Because of its importance, Congress has passed the bill every year since 1961, a fact that also makes it hard, but not impossible, to veto. The marked-up bill must still be passed by the committee and the full Senate, and approved by the House before heading to the President. The push to rename the bases, of which there are 10, is one of a number of spillover effects from the nationwide upheaval catalyzed by the death of George Floyd. Seattle protesters dig in. A self-enforced no-police area in downtown Seattle stretched into its fourth day today, raising questions for local officials on how to handle the escalating situation. Spanning a 6-block area in the Capitol Hill area, the Declared Autonomous Zone, referred to as the CHAZ, sprung into existence after protesters forced police out of the city's East Precinct. Ridiculous. While the long-term strategy is unclear, ongoing demonstrations for police reform have dominated activities so far. Some fear an imminent crackdown on protesters, though Mayor Jenny Durkin has resisted calls for force, pushing to de-escalate the standoff. See photos from the zone here. I think they have gone so far as to be beyond just de-escalation. Force is called for. Nuke 'em. Not literally, I'm just saying. Separately, Senator Mark Milley. Separately, General Mark Milley, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, expressed regret for accompanying the president to St. John's Church amid a protest in Washington, D.C.'s Lafayette Square last week. Coward. Milley said the optics comprised the apolitical role of the U.S. military. Watch his address here. Unemployment falls, but markets plunge. That should not have been. The only people who politicized that were whatever stupid church leaders came out after the fact and said that Trump shouldn't have done that. It wasn't political. They politicized it after the fact. It was nice. That's it. It was just nice. Unemployment falls, but markets plunge. Why? Nearly 1.55 million Americans made initial unemployment claims last week, less than the 1.9 million expected by analysts and a drop of more than 350,000 from the previous week. While the number of new claims made during the pandemic now exceeds, I think you mean the panic, now exceeds 44 million, continuing claims Workers who have been collecting benefits for at least 2 weeks, a clearer picture of current unemployment, fell to just under 21 million. See a primer on how different types of unemployment are defined. Despite the gradually improving economic picture, markets took a nosedive yesterday. The Dow plunged 1,810 points, negative 6.7%, followed by the S&P 500, negative 5.7%, and the Nasdaq, negative 5.3%. Oil prices also tumbled, down 8%. What the fuck? Analysts said the fall was largely fueled by fears of a second wave of coronavirus infections. Oh, you know whose fault that is? The protesters and the rioters. That's whose fault that is. Cases are rising in about half of U.S. states, with spikes in Arizona, North Carolina, and Texas. Officials say the increases are a combination of relaxed restrictions, localized outbreaks, and more testing. Really? You're just gonna ignore all the crowds of people coming together to protest and or riot, tear down statues, burn buildings. See a comparison of daily case count in each state compared to their reopening status. The U.S. has reported 2 million total cases with 113,820 deaths as of this morning. Deaths rose less than 1% since yesterday. See a rolling 3-day average here. Oh, well, at this point, the average would probably be less than 1%. Get your eyes covered. Warby Parker. Our eyes barely grow. From the time you were born until now, your eyes have only changed in size by mere millimeters. But know what's changed a lot? Your style. And now's the time to switch out your early 2000s rectangular wire glasses for something a bit more modern and less scratched. Warby Parker is here to make shopping for eyewear easy and fun, even from home. They offer designer eyewear at revolutionary prices, starting at $95, prescription included, along with contact lenses, eye exams, and more. They're your friendly one-stop shop for all your vision needs. With Warby Parker's Home Try-On program, they'll send you your favorite eyeglasses and sunglasses right to your door, giving you 5 days to get acquainted. Love 'em? Keep 'em. If they aren't your thing, send them back for free. Get started on your Warby Parker glasses matching journey today. Need some help picking frames? Take their style quiz to get started. Please support our sponsors. In the know. Sports, entertainment, and culture. Lady Antebellum, 7-time Grammy-winning country band, changes name to Lady A in response to Black Lives Matter movement. So brave. Sony unveils the long-awaited PlayStation 5, which is set to be released later this year. See full specs and design. Oh. So if you hadn't been able to afford the PlayStation 4 yet, you can just skip right over that and get number 5. LeBron James launches More Than a Vote, a nonprofit organization to protect minority voting rights. Okay. NFL pledges $250 million. What exactly does he think that they're going to do? Minority voting rights are not threatened. It's already been established, maybe not in the eyes of everybody, but there's no problem for minorities needing an ID to vote, unless you're including illegal minorities, in which case they shouldn't be voting anyway. NFL pledges $250 million over 10 years to combat systemic racism. Science and technology. Doctors perform the first double lung transplant on a COVID-19 patient. Surgeons say the surgery, only feasible for a small number of severely ill patients, saved the life of a Chicago woman in her 20s. Neat. Astronauts create the exotic quantum state of matter known as a Bose-Einstein condensate aboard the International Space Station. Cool. Lab-grown cells mimic embryo-like structures, allowing researchers to study fetal development using artificial biological structures. Organoids contain rudimentary heart and nervous system components. Wonder how far they'll be able to go with that before ethics is brought in and they have to stop. Love data visualizations like us? Check out our friends at Charter. They take some of the biggest news stories each week and create beautiful data visualizations around them. The result? Big insights in 5 minutes or less. Nothing is off the table if the data are interesting enough. More than 60,000 people are getting visual, data-driven insights into business, technology, entertainment, and politics. Join them for free here. Business and markets. Apple and YouTube both launch $100 million racial equity initiatives to support Black artists and causes. Lovely. Racial equity. I'm so tired of this. Microsoft will stop sales of facial recognition technology to U.S. police departments, pausing until new laws provide adequate regulation in the space. Grocery delivery giant Instacart raises $225 million at near $14 billion valuation amid rapid panic growth. Facebook launching venture arm to invest in promising social apps. The more you do things like this is discrimination. Picking out the people to support based on their skin color is technically discrimination. It's the sort of thing that we were supposed to be fighting against. Oh, that's only negative discrimination. That's only bad discrimination. No, equality is equality. I don't know when people started replacing equity. People started replacing equality with the word equity, and people just aren't supposed to notice. That's not the same thing, and never has it been necessary for us to ensure equity. It's up to people. You have personal responsibility. We're supposed to have personal responsibility for building your own self up. Politics and world affairs. Because that wasn't politics. It's all politics now. Senate Judiciary Committee approves subpoena authority to gather testimony from more than 50 former Obama administration officials. Measure is part of an investigation into the origins of the Robert Mueller Russia probe. Louisville, Kentucky passes Breonna's Law, banning no-knock warrants in the city. Law named after Breonna Taylor, killed when officers performed a midnight raid searching for two suspects who lived far from Taylor's home. Australian mining giant BHP to destroy at least 40 Aboriginal heritage sites, some up to 15,000 years old, to expand operations. Plans have stoked public outrage across the country. Destroy. In depth. We are asking the police to do too much. From Code Switch. Police advocates and protesters rallying around calls to defund the police can agree on one thing. Officers should not be the first and last resort for everything, including noisy parties, mental health, homelessness, and more. Okay, so instead of completely doing away with them and replacing them with social workers, such as has been suggested in Minneapolis, you could increase your social worker force and have them work together more. Editor's note, we're also reading this piece from WashPo on the challenges officers face when interceding when they feel another officer has crossed the line. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm sure it's a good one. Obviously, I haven't read it. But that, I think, also has to do with the qualified immunity thing. I think that it is. That's something that people can agree on, I think. That there shouldn't be so many It shouldn't be that hard to intercede when another officer crosses the line. The breaking point. From The Atlantic. George Floyd was the latest in a string of controversial police-involved deaths in Minneapolis that included Philando Castile and Justine Damond. Floyd was the breaking point for the city, and Minneapolis was the breaking point for America. Okay. Time to explain myself. From jkrowling.com. The Harry Potter author sparked controversy this week over comments that many in the LGBTQ community criticized as transphobic. Read as Rowling addresses the firestorm in her own words. Editor's note: read Rowling's original comments and why many say they are anti-trans here. I know this story, and normally I'm just like whatever about the things that she says, but she was right. I mean, biological sex is not a made-up concept. You can't do away with biology. You can't do away with science when it fits you. That's all. To celebrate Loving Day, Ohio State/Origins. Today marks the anniversary, from 2017. Today marks the anniversary of Loving versus Virginia, that kind of loving, in 1967, which made marriage a fundamental right for interracial couples. Be sure to check out the image library here, capturing the historical view of U.S. attitudes. But these days, there are some fringe type of people who think that if a black person and a white person get together, the black person is actually betraying their own kind. What's your style? We've seen lots of people reinvent themselves in these times of isolation, but instead of dyeing hair, growing out beards, or becoming a master bread maker, maybe you should look at refreshing your style with a new pair of specs. With Warby Parker, you can test your next pair of glasses using AR with a virtual try-on, or order some pairs, contactless, to your doorstep with home try-on. Get started with the Warby Parker Style Quiz today. Please support our sponsors. Etc. How the coronavirus dented local commerce in major cities. You mean the coronavirus panic. How the coronavirus panic dented local commerce in major cities. Check out the Great Barrier Reef's stunning Museum of Underwater Art. Cool. Wondering how clean the air is on airplanes? Read this. From our partners, enjoy historic Charleston from just $99 at the Inn at Middleton Place. Choose your dates with the peace of mind that your trip is fully refundable. 22 award-winning wedding photos. A stolen Banksy painting has been found in the Italian countryside. Virtually ride some of the world's most beautiful train routes. Invite a shelter pet to join your Zoom calls. Okay. What else does the pet get out of it? Or what at all does the pet get out of it? 30-foot beehive removed from Tennessee home. What, just the possibility that someone's going to see it and go adopt it? That seems like a stretch. 30-foot beehive removed from Tennessee home. Jeez. Clickbait. Los Angeles school police to return grenade launchers, keep mine resistance vehicles. LA is weird. History book. 41st President George H.W. Bush born, 1924. Anne Frank born, 1929. Nelson Mandela sentenced to life in prison in South Africa, 1964. President Ronald Reagan delivers famous Tear Down This Wall speech, 1987. That's the Berlin Wall. 49 killed in mass shooting at nightclub in Orlando, 2016. No one has ever become poor by giving. Anne Frank. that's it for today. If anybody watches this and has found any sort of value in it whatsoever, please consider subscribing. That would be very kind. Goodbye.